this lesson, I'm going to talk about doing some chord substitutions on the tune Careless Love. And if you want to download a transcription of the arrangement I just played, you can go to the link below or the link on screen, sign up for my mailing list, and download some notation and tab. So Careless Love is a super old tune. It's one of those early jazz tunes that's so old it's in the public domain. And the basic version of the tune is really just 1, 4, and 5. So just C and G. And so in the version I played at the beginning, what I basically did, besides throwing in a couple of 7th chords like this G7 here, which I really love, as opposed to this G7, which I learned out of a book when I was 12, it had some very collegiate looking people on the cover wearing those like sweaters, you know, and they had the little harmony guitars. Anyway. The G7 that I use in this, which lets you have the melody on top, has the 7th down here on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, which I really love. So root, and then here's the 7th. And so it lets you do things like that. But and still get that 7th quality on the bottom. But what I'm doing for the chord substitutions happens in the second half. It's actually the second half of the first line. So the melody's going. And so the chords that I'm putting behind it, instead of just playing C to G, I'm playing C, E7 with an alter sound on top to A minor 7 to D7 G7, and then throwing in a quick D7 to G7. And so you can get away with that through a sort of chain of logical assumptions. Here's the C, and I'm thinking that I'm going to get to this A minor, which is the 6th chord in the key of C. Right here's the 1, and A minor is the 6, and so I'm going to put that melody note on top of the A minor. I'm going to get into the A minor from E7. E7 is the 5 of A minor. So that's just a way of saying, like, if we were in the key of A minor, the 5 would be E7. So when I'm in C and I'm going to A minor, I can get there by borrowing this E7, which is the 5 of A minor. And by the same logic, when I want to get to G7, I can get there by borrowing D7 from the key of G, because if we were in G, which we're not, D would be the 5, and so we're going to borrow D7 from the key of G to get to the G. And then when we want to just kind of kill time on G, we can borrow it again. And just anytime you hit this D7, it's going to want to pull you back to G, which in turn is going to pull you back to C. So this is an E7. I've got the root and the flat 7 and the 3rd and the 5th, and then flat 9 on top. And then A minor 7, root 5, root, flat 3, flat 7, here's D7. I'm taking this B7 shape and moving it up here to get a D7. Here's the 3rd, so the root, the 3rd, the flat 7, and the 5th. And then a G7 here, I've got getting the bass with my thumb, and then here's flat 7, and 3, and 5. And I could get it here, or even here, but I'm doing it here because I'm going to jump up to the D7, this D7, which is like this D7, but has the root here. So root, 3, flat 7, and root. It's like this C7 chord, but moved up. So, and then, so that's the first half. And then instead of just playing C, this is the second half of the line, of the melody now. of tricky thing where the melody is going to go up to a C7 chord, but the bass is going to go down to E, which is the third of C. So you get these things going in opposite directions, which is always cool. And then up to an F chord, I'm going to grab the third and the bass of the F. So I've got the third and the root and the fifth and the third again here. And then going to an F minor 6. Here's the root, here's the flat 6. No, here's the 6, sorry. Here's the flat third, and here's the fifth. And then that takes me back to C, to G. So, a couple things. The C7, when you're going from C to F, you're also doing a move that's going from the 5 to the 1, because temporarily, if you think, well, if F was the 1 chord, what would its 5 be? Its 5 would be C. So we can go from a C, we can make the C a C7, and then that C7 leads us, resolves to an F. So we get an F. This F minor 6 resolves back to C. And there are a few reasons why. I'm not going to totally get into the theoretical weeds with that, but that move is as old as another standard from really early on, After You've Gone, from 1917, has that move of minor 4 to 1. And also the Beatles' I'll Follow the Sun has it 60 or 50 years later or whatever. So that's good enough for me. So this is what we have at the end. We have C, C7, F, F minor 6, and then C to G to C. And if we were going to improvise, we might, when we get to the end, do 1 to 6 with a dominant 7, an A7, which is the 5 of D, which is this 5 of G, which is this. So you could play through the whole tune, and then you could actually improvise on your new substitute chords. So I'll just play through the tune a couple times. Once doing the melody again, and then once taking a bit of a solo. So it got a little ugly on that F chord there, but that's the idea. So again, if you want to check out the tab for the basic arrangement, go to the link below or to the link at the end of the video. If you've got questions or other things about this way of playing that you want to ask me about, do scroll down and leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.